Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Money Classroom. I am Keisha Bailey, your host in these internet streets. You call me Keisha the teacher because I teach you how to invest so that you can turn the money you have into the money you want. We're all about learning how to grow our money inside the money classroom. So I am very excited that you are all here with me today on this fine Sunday, Father's Day, to learn more about money. So, to all the fathers that are here with us inside the money classroom, pick up yourself. Welcome, 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 everyone. Fathers are near and dear to my heart. They are very special persons. We need them. And today we show them how much we appreciate all they do. So, fathers, big up yourself, big up your money journey as well, and welcome to the money classroom. So, today we are talking about cryptocurrencies. This is a very exciting episode because, as you guys recall, we spoke about the future of money a couple of episodes ago when we had John Matthew Sinclair from Link with us. If you don't remember that episode, go back and watch it. It is extremely informative and extremely educational. It sets the precedence for what we're going to be talking about today because we spoke about the evolution of money over time and the fact that right now in this present moment we are facilitating a lot of digital transactions, and companies like Link that offer that digital payment wallet are pushing along with the future of money. So today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. We have a world-renowned expert, trust me, an expert on cryptocurrency who is here with us to teach us more about cryptocurrency, teach us the in-depth portion of it. So get out your money book, make sure you are ready. So I'm gonna kick over into our disclaimer.
The information provided on this show is for general entertainment and education purposes only. No information, materials, services, and other content provided on this show constitute solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or any financial investment or other advice. Seek independent professional consultation in the form of legal, financial, and investment advice before making any investment decision.
All right, all right. So let me know where you guys are joining from tonight. Who do we have inside the money classroom with us? Where are you guys joining us from? Let us see. I see Ayana Brown was first inside the classroom today. She said, money book out along with the money. Yeah, I love that one. Money book out along with the money. Yeah, I love that, Ayana. Angie Harris is here. Hey, Keisha, in class ready. Welcome, welcome, Angie. Lots to learn today. Trust me, lots to learn. So let me know where you guys are joining us from tonight because, we want to make sure everybody's well represented. And of course, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel so that we can continue pushing out this valuable information to everyone. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're telling your friends as well that you join us inside the money classroom twice a month. We meet every other week live here, teaching you about money, teaching you how to be better with your money, how to grow your money better, things that you need to be thinking about with your money. So we have Ayana from Spanish Town. Big up yourself, Ayana. We have Raquel from Miami. Raquel, big up yourself, Raquel. Glad to have you here. David Lee from Hanover. Peter Gay Campbell from Stony Hill. Welcome, 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 everybody. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, the like button, right? Tell the algorithm that this is very valuable content so that YouTube can push it out to more people. So hit, like. Make sure people know that look, there's something going on over on this channel so we can help to educate as much persons as possible. That's my aim, that's my dream, to So there's a noise. Oh, not sure what's happening. Not sure. Not sure. You guys not hearing me? Okay. Okay. Let me go check here on my audio to make sure. Ah, I see what it is. I see what the problem is. I see. Is this better? Is this better? All right. So I'm gonna jump into our presentation. Let me know if you guys hear me okay. All right. So people are afraid generally about what they don't understand. People, if they don't grasp a concept, they get afraid. They're getting very afraid, not sure what to do. And so what we want to make sure that we're doing is educating people so that you understand. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, not a lot of persons understand, right? Let's get real. Thank you, Raquel, you're hearing me. So not a lot of people understand cryptocurrency. Let us be real about that, right? And because people don't understand cryptocurrencies, people stay away. They say, look here, I don't know the first thing about cryptocurrencies. I'm not touching it. I hear about people losing their money. I hear about millionaires, but I don't know which one I'm going to be. So you know what? I am staying away. Let's get educated. Let us get the knowledge so that we can know exactly what to do. All right, so let us do that. Let's jump in. So just recapping the evolution of money. So we started out with barter. So in way back in the earlier days of money, if you wanted to do a transaction with someone, I had a cow, you have a sheep. If we wanted to do a transaction together, I would give you my cow, you give me the sheep. That's a transaction. Now, what happened is that we have something called the inconvenience of wants, because maybe I want your cow, but I don't really want a sheep. I don't. I want something else. I need some apples. I need some, oil. I need grains. So because of that inconvenience of wants, we evolved into using precious metals and coins as the currency of transactions. So what would happen then, because everyone can agree on, yes, these precious metals like gold and silver, they are a very good store of value. So you know what? Let's use them for our transactions. You want my coin? Okay, give me some silver coins or give me gold coins in exchange for that. But over time, walking around with a bag of coins got very burdensome, right? Especially if you had large transactions to do, you'd be walking around with this big, heavy bag of coins. And it's not that easily transportable. You'd have it in your pocket, it weighing you down, or you have to, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of these shows like Vikings and stuff where you see people walking around with a chest of money. It became very cumbersome. And so enter the banks. With the banks, we now move to this portion here, paper money. And what happens with the introduction of the banks is that people started putting their faith in the banks, because the banks would say, this paper money is the basis of transactions. Trust us, because this paper money is what has value. If you guys look on any paper money, you will see that it says the bank is willing to pay the holder of this note a certain amount of dollars. This is the bank letting you know that, look here, we are responsible for this currency. Put your faith in us. Put your faith in this paper or plastic money these days, right? Because they're trying to make money more durable. So put your faith in this plastic or fiat money and use that to the transaction. But the bank is the middle person, because anything wrong with any transaction, it goes through the banks. If your money is torn, you carry it back to the bank and they can switch it out and give you a new currency, right? I don't know if person I've had where you have paper money, it's torn, you probably tape it up, but you carry it to the bank and they give you a nice fresh one, because they're the issuer of currencies. Each country has their own central bank that issues the currency for that country. Anything regarding printing new money in that currency has to be done by the central bank. Now, what we're noticing here with the evolution of money and currency is that as we have that natural evolution, more trade happens. The economy of the world expands. So more and more trade to where we are today, where we're talking about plastic cards. People are tapping, people are swiping. So we've moved away from paper money. Me personally, I don't really have paper money. I really hardly use it. Hardly. I'm a card person or electronic. So I do a lot of online transactions, or I'm just tapping my card, swiping my card. That's what I do. Especially with the pandemic, we know now people don't really want to exchange cash that readily because, all of the germs, you can probably catch something. So people are naturally now, the pandemic has resulted in this natural evolution being sped up because people are pushing more now into electronic, not even so much cards, because they're saying I'm tapping my card on so many different surfaces. I'm not going to do that anymore. You know what? I'm just doing electronic. This is now where we have digital transactions, where you're on Amazon just clicking some buttons, and behind the scenes, your bank is sending the money from your account to Amazon's bank account. So there's a negative from your account and a plus into Amazon, but it's all electronic. Now, fast forward to what I believe will be the future is crypto. This is where now we have removed the banks and we have true peer-to-peer transactions. We're not going through any bank anymore. We're going direct from me to you. I would directly transact with Amazon. The money wouldn't have to go through a bank. If I need to send money to my family in another country, I can just do that directly without having to do a wire transfer and wait how much days and pay wire fees. You guys know about that. There also would be no fees because it's just me and you doing the transaction together. So let us define what is a cryptocurrency. What exactly is that? Cryptocurrencies are tradable digital assets. These are digital currencies. They don't exist in any paper form. It's just online assets that we're using for currency, right? So we are at this point right now, we're clicking online to the transactions, but we're still going through a bank. Picture a world where you're still clicking online to the transaction, but it's a direct transaction with your vendor, no middleman. That is where we're going when we talk about cryptocurrencies. These are digital assets which are tradable, and it's a digital form of money, but it's built on the blockchain technology, and it only exists online. So it's this blockchain technology that really brings about the security that are associated with cryptocurrencies. This is really what makes the cryptocurrency world very unique, this blockchain technology and how exactly it is constructed. So we're going to get into that as well. So main cryptocurrency we know is Bitcoin. And if you guys have been seeing what's happening in the news, lots of volatility around Bitcoin prices. Last year, Bitcoin was 60,000 US for one. It's dropped down to almost, but it hit below 20,000 recently. But Bitcoin has been, this is volatile, right? Nothing happening for many years. It's been around since 2013. Nothing happening much. And then boom, took off during the pandemic. Everybody and their mother were talking about some form of coin. We had Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all kind of coins were coming out, right? And mixed up in it were some fake coins as well. But lots of activity was happening last year. Since the start of this year, however, different story. Different story. We've seen the value of Bitcoin drop significantly. I'm trying to find the right word to describe it, but significantly. Now, come all the way down here, we're almost at 20,000. Now, different types of cryptocurrencies that are out there. The biggest, most known is Bitcoin. That's what most of us know. Then, second, we have Ethereum, we have Ripple, we have Bitcoin Cash, we have Cardano, which is an energy efficient cryptocurrency. That one is there. We also have Stellar, Litecoin, EOS, Neo, lots of different ones. And you see, all in the billions, right? Bitcoin being the largest, around 191 billion. Lots going on here. A whole new world of digital assets, these new currencies, these new ways of doing transactions that are popping up. So at this point, I would say, look here, you have to educate yourself. You have to know. Cryptocurrencies are at a point now where you can't ignore them and say, well, I don't really have to know about cryptocurrencies, a fad. This is what people said about the internet. They say, well, the internet's not, it's a bubble. Back in 2000, I remember a lot of people saying, yeah, the world coming to an end, it's coming to an end because internet bubble, the internet not going to last. Look at us today. Look at us today in 2022. I am streaming to you from Toronto to people all across the world using the power of the internet. We do not want to ignore cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are fairly new. As I said, Bitcoin came out in 2013. So very, very new, still new. In the grand scheme of how things are evolving, it's still very new. But those who educate themselves, those who are aware of the changes happening in the world are the ones who can build wealth faster. We don't want to be left behind, and when things are way run off and all the money is made, that is when we're deciding that, hey, you know what, I should probably start looking into this cryptocurrency thing. Let me go try and figure it out. If you check in the news, if you see what even some of the large banks are doing, a lot of people now are beginning to discuss cryptocurrency. A lot of banks are looking at offering cryptocurrency services to their clients. You see some football players taking payment in cryptocurrency. It's something that we can't ignore anymore. We can't ignore it. Now, how exactly does it work? I'm going to break it down for you. So say I go on Amazon, I need to buy a microphone for $27. If we're doing this transaction using payment in cryptocurrency, what would work is it's directly a transaction between me and Amazon. There is no bank. You notice I don't have a bank in the middle of anything. What will happen is that through the blockchain technology, which as we think about it, it's a chain, right? It's linked. So the transaction, this new transaction between Amazon and myself is connected to all the previous transactions that have occurred in the blockchain. So the blockchain stores all the transactions that occur with cryptocurrency. So if I'm using the Bitcoin cryptocurrency, every single Bitcoin transaction will be stored in the Bitcoin blockchain. So my transaction with Amazon is going to be added into the blockchain, but it's added to all the previous Bitcoin transactions. And then say tomorrow, someone else, I do a transaction now with Sephora, that new transaction will be added to my Amazon transaction in the chain. And everyone's Bitcoin transactions are inside this chain. That makes it very hard for any scamming to occur, because what happens also with the blockchain is that there are many computers that are storing information on all of these transactions. It's not just one central computer. You have millions of persons who are storing the information on these computers, because what happens is that in exchange for them storing the information, they are receiving Bitcoin to do that. They're being paid in Bitcoin. And so because you have over 1 million computers connected to this blockchain, and the million computers are storing information, every transaction I do is stored on those 1 million computers. Now, if I want to try and hack or do any form of scamming, I need to find all 1 million computers and change the information in those computers. Plus, because remember I said it's a chain, all prior transactions before my Amazon transaction are recorded. So if I break my Amazon transaction and try and alter it, I have to also alter every transaction that occurred before it, which is next to impossible. This is the beauty of the security of the blockchain technology. Because nowadays, it's very easy to hack someone's bank account. You just need their PIN, you hack it, and you can go in and pull out all of their money, and then it becomes your word against the hacker's word, if you find them. With the blockchain technology, for someone to go into your account and change anything, they need to find 1 million computers and change a specific transaction on all of those computers, plus change every single transaction that occurred before your single transaction. That is next to impossible. And this is where I'm saying this is the future of money. This is the future of how transactions are being done, because naturally evolving now is a lot of scammers. I don't know about you guys, but I am attacked constantly by scammers. Constantly in the DMs. People selling things, selling you all kind of things, and trying to get your personal information so they can hack into your account. And it's becoming a lot easier now to hack into account because you just have a PIN, or maybe you have your phone, you do, face recognition or something. It's becoming easier. The blockchain technology brings back security. So this is why I see it as a natural evolution, because people are getting more and more frustrated about all this hacking, right? Also, what's a very big thing with the blockchain technology that we can't have with paper money is that you can't create new currencies. So right now, what's happening, a lot of central banks are printing money. They're pumping money, especially with the pandemic. You have central banks printing new notes, pushing it out there, giving you money to help you go through hard times. Even in the US, we see now that the president is talking about rebates for gas. That's money, again, pumping into the economy. With cryptocurrencies, it's a finite amount, and so it is a better store of value. What's happening now, because of this constant printing of money, all currencies across the world are losing value. All currency. And we're seeing it more when we talk about inflation. It's a very gloomy picture, but I want you guys to understand the importance of the changes that are happening. Don't let it pass you. Don't just be there and you're just going about your daily existence, not realizing the pivotal change happening in the world right now. But central banks are printing money. The value of money is becoming cheaper. Over time, you will see people shifting. It's going to start with the wealthy first, because they're going to be the first to realize it and say, wait, paper money has no value. And they've started seeing that, and they're shifting into cryptocurrencies. Where do you want to be? On the poor side or on the wealthy side? We need to know the difference. We need to understand that. So that's why I'm saying this is a critical lesson inside the classroom. Make sure you're taking a lot of notes. Now, let me go now further to explain to you this blockchain transaction of what I was speaking about earlier. So this is how it is across banks. Yes, wealthy side, Ayana, for sure. So bank 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions. So if Eleanor, Nadia, Evelyn are with bank 1, Brianna, Arlie, and Rosalia are bank 4, each information is segregated by the bank. But however, when we talk about the blockchain, we have a ledger that stores all transactions. Everything is there. It is centralized. For someone to change this transaction here for boys, they need to go and change it on 1 million computers. Plus, they need to change all the prior transactions up here on 1 million computers. That is hard to do. Plus, there's a finite amount of these digital assets. There's a finite amount of cryptocurrency. There's no new cryptocurrency so Bitcoin, for example, 21 million Bitcoin, that is it. No new one popping out. They're not going to say, well, let's just do 25, because it's extremely hard to do. As I said, we have 1 million computers already. That's a lot of computing power. It's not easy to create new Bitcoins, but it's easy to print paper money, because it's just a paper you print, stamp on a seal on it to say, okay, this is authentic, and that's all. So paper money is losing value. You need to understand it. And I'm sure you guys feeling it this year. This is just the start of it. You feel it in your pocket, right? Let me know. Are you feeling the impact of inflation and the fact that your money is losing value? It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. So we have to see what the future holds and adjust to that. Now, with the blockchain, each transaction is attached to a prior one, right? So this transaction here, assuming this is the first one, the hash for this transaction is here. When it is attached to a new transaction, you see the new transaction. This is the previous hash. So they are connected. For me to change my transaction, I have to go back and change the previous transaction as well. It's an ever connected link, ever evolving link, built on blocks chained together. This is what brings the security. And people may say, well, you know, it's scamming and lots of scam happening. No, because the information is there. The hash is your unique number. It's like your account number. It's unique. It doesn't put your name. It will not say Keisha Bailey transaction with Amazon. But this is the code that will I will know this is my transaction. So the information is still there. It's more secure in that your personal information is protected, but there is additional built-in security that prevents the scamming and the hacking, which is the beauty of the blockchain. My personal information is preserved, but the integrity of my transaction is there. Can't escape that, because that's what we want. I want to preserve my personal information. I don't want everybody out there knowing my account number, my phone number, and my email. Don't want to do that. But I want to know that my transaction is secure. I want to know that when I bought this online, I really was doing a transaction with Amazon and not a fake page that looks like Amazon. I want to know that, and this is how we get that security, through the blockchain. Now let's go through benefits of cryptocurrency, because it's two-sided, right? Cryptocurrencies give you open, traceable transactions. You trace it through the chain. You can trace them, right? You can become your own banker, because you are now storing your own money. You don't have your money at an NCB or a TD or a Bank of America or a Scotia. Your money is with you inside your own account, you have your own wallet, whether digital or a hard wallet, to store your money. There are no fees. There are no monthly fees. There are no minimum balances, which impact a lot of us, right? There's also no interest, no overdue balance, none of that. And then transactions are faster because there's no intermediary. There's no middle bank. There's no, okay, let's wait 3 to 5 days for that wire transfer. Let's do this. Let's do a Venmo or a Cash App, and it will take a couple minutes. This is way faster. We're talking milliseconds for transaction. We do have to think about exchange rate, about, well, I'm going from Canada to Jamaica, going from US. Lord, look at the currency, the US dollar. Oh God, my poor pocket. Everything. Bitcoin, regardless of where you live, whichever country you're in, still Bitcoin. I can be here in Canada transacting with you in Jamaica or you in the UK using Bitcoin. Still the same currency. So this is a big game changer. And we have to realize that. Big, huge game changer. Now, showing you guys some articles here, some headlines, because airlines possibly looking at taking Bitcoin. Tesla announced, that they haven't put it in force, but they were saying they were going to accept Bitcoin. PayPal as well. So it is coming. I mean, we haven't seen it really occur. Venezuela has accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. So it's coming. It's coming. The thing with Bitcoin is that because it is so new, it only came about since 2013. It is fairly new. So it has a lot of volatility because we're going through that adoption. Slowly, there's uptake. Slowly, people are beginning to use these cryptocurrencies more and more. But because you have people doing, million by a morning, I want to make a quick meal, they're jumping in and a lot of them are losing money. But that's not my take on cryptocurrencies. My take is more of a long-term. I want to be my own banker. I want to cut out the middleman and save the fees and and store the value of my wealth. Because you work hard to build your wealth, you want to store the value. And for me right now, I am realizing that cryptocurrencies are a better store of value than the paper money, because I can't create new cryptocurrencies that easily. But all the central banks are out there printing. We're aggressively building wealth together. Everyone inside Profit Jumpstarter community, we're all about growing our money, making money. While we're doing that, we need to preserve it. We don't want to grow it and then, oh my God, it lost value because these central banks printed all of this new money. So it is important to understand what is happening, Over time, yes, there's a role for Bitcoin, but it's different for each person. You have to understand the role of Bitcoin in your wealth creation journey. How much should they have? Should they be looking at it for investment? Should they just be holding the actual cryptocurrency in an account, in a wallet, so that eventually when it starts becoming legal tender and people using it more and more, you have it from when the price was cheaper? I want us to start thinking about this. Maybe I should have a little bit, just as this thing starts picking up. I have something, and I'm not buying Bitcoin when it's 100,000 US for one. Let's think about that. It is important. Let us think about it. We have to think about it. So, my main takeaway from tonight: look at cryptocurrencies. The future is now. Start looking at cryptocurrencies. The future is now. We are going to bring on our very, very special guest with us. We're bringing on this guest. Look here, guys, give her a big welcome. She is a alternative assets expert.
Hello.
Hi, Lori. I'm joined tonight by Lori Souza. She's the business owner of Digital Asset Consulting. She brings a background of technology and business education to the forefront in our new digital economy. She offers advising, education, speaking, and consulting services about investing applications of the new financial technology of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and tokenization. So, as I said, Lori is an expert. I'm very excited to have her on with us. Big up yourself, Lori. Welcome to the Money Classroom.
Thank you for having me here, Keisha. I'm so glad to be here and talk about one of my favorite things, and that is Bitcoin and digital currencies.
Great. Yeah. So, everyone, as usual, welcome Lori inside the Money Classroom. She's our guest expert tonight. Drop your questions as we're going through our discussion. Any and everything you want to know about blockchain, cryptocurrency, ask up the question, because we have an expert. You don't get these opportunities to have an expert sitting in front of you saying, ask me, let me explain to you, let me break it down. She can go in way more detail than I can. She lives and breathes this every day, and she has a very exciting offer to discuss with you guys as well, because like myself, she's very passionate about education and passionate about implementing knowledge.
That's right.
And she's saying, welcome, Lori. Can you just share a bit about your background with everyone here inside the classroom?
Sure. Thank you for the great introduction there, Keisha. I started teaching about cryptocurrency back in 2019. A friend of mine introduced it to me in 2016 and introduced me to Bitcoin. And, I thought about it and realized when he explained it to me that it was a hedge against inflation, that's when it made sense. And so when I say it's a hedge against inflation, well, we're all back then in 2015, people didn't really see the inflation creeping in, but it started in about 2017, 2018, when prices of housing and everything, all goods and services started to increase. So when he explained it to me that it's an economic reason to get involved in Bitcoin, that's when I said I'm in, because I already see that the dollar is inflated. And now what do we see? We see gas prices are tremendously high, cars, gas cars, anything at the stores, housing prices, rents. The dollar is on a runaway train right now. And the endless amount of printing that's happening is really devaluing the dollar. There is no limit to how much is being printed. But Bitcoin, as you had mentioned, has a limited supply. Well, think about that year that you went Christmas shopping, or you went shopping for the popular item, right? And it was just like the talking Omo was being taken off the shelves. You couldn't get that special Beanie Baby, those things. Well, the prices increased on those, right? Because those goods and services are hard to get. Think about Lysol. A can of Lysol right now, because of COVID, is almost $10. when it used to be $3 or $4, right? So because we're experiencing inflation, and I got involved because I saw the future, that this is where we're going with the severe printing of the dollar. Now, I mentioned Bitcoin, and I know that you had just had the talk about cryptocurrency, and I just want to make it clear to all of you, there are several different cryptocurrencies, and there's several different categories of digital currencies. Bitcoin is one of them, and Bitcoin is being adopted worldwide. And so I'm going to focus on Bitcoin, because not only do we see El Salvador adopted as legal tender. Now we have the Central African community that actually adopted as legal tender. And so, or the Central African Republic, yes.
Yeah.
And so that's 2 countries right now. Venezuela is using it, Brazil, Turkey. Now, these countries that I'm mentioning are countries that are, let's just say, have a volatile home currency. So, and they haven't been able to rely on the dollar system or the US to really support these countries. So now you see these countries taking it into their own hands of, we're going to go ahead and adopt our own currency. We can't rely on the dollar or the US like we used to. So now we're adopting the Bitcoin. Bitcoin has already been classified in the United States as money, and it's the only cryptocurrency that has. And they classified it.
That's huge. That is huge, right? So if it's been classified as money, what does that really mean?
Yeah. So what it means is that the U.S. A bill passed in the legislature in July of 2020, and that was to allow banks to custody Bitcoin. Well, you showed the graph. Bitcoin is down right now, and it is, unfortunately, we see that a lot of institutions are buying it up and are purposely dropping the price. And the reason why is to allow people who are retail investors who can't afford to hold on, or they saw a loss, now they want them to get scared and sell. And so hold on to your Bitcoin, because there is a limited supply. It will be difficult to buy it. And my recommendation to anybody is, if you can afford $50 or $100 a month, move it out of your home currency into Bitcoin. And that is for a store of value for the future. The opportunity right now at this low price is incredible, because, well, a lot of people, buy high and sell low, right? And then they end up at a loss.
Yeah, and then they say,
and you mentioned, do you want to be on the wealthy side, or do you want to be on the non-wealthy side, on the poor side? Yeah.
Poor and struggling. Yeah.
Well, I was raised by a single mom, and she had to get public assistance. And I promised myself that I would never go through that myself, even if it was me working 2 or 3 jobs, which, you do, right? But when I learned about Bitcoin, and my background is in technology and engineering, and I was in engineering when the computer came out. And most people said, oh, why do I need a computer? I can go to the library, or I have a phone book, right? I don't need to use this computer. Well, think about it. For those of you, and all of us now have a computer, just about all of us, we're here online.
Tablet, iPad, all kinds of things.
We've got all these devices. Yeah. So did you decide to learn about the technology behind the computer, or did you just plug it in and start using it? If you're one that said, well, I need to go study electronics, I need to figure out how this electricity works, how does this power up, then you'll be interested in learning more about blockchain technology, which I can teach that to you. But right here for this right now, the technology behind the computer isn't what you're interested in. What you're interested in is, what's it going to do for me? So what are we going to do with this computer? What are we going to do with our iPad and our phone? So I want you to think about that when you're deciding to buy Bitcoin. is that it's, listen, I can tell you who the scammers are and who they aren't. And you want to purchase Bitcoin through a credible source. And we're getting ready to put out a series starting next week about crypto scams. What are the top 10 crypto scams out there? Because there are scammers, just like there's scammers of the dollar. There's scammers of crypto because it's easy to hack somebody's phone or their computer. And if you're one that stores your passwords, then people even have an easier time.
So I have a question from David Lee. He is asking about the value. How does cryptocurrency derive its value?
So remember, the value of anything is in the minds of people. And so you just have to look at what are in the minds of people right now. Institutions are buying this up. The number one holder right now that bought up most of the Bitcoin mining facilities is Marathon Holdings. So you don't hear that in the news, but
Nope.
now
we have you with us.
The Bitcoin miners are no longer selling their Bitcoin. They're holding it. And now the cryptocurrency exchanges are going to start seeing a shortage of Bitcoin, along with all the people that realize that they're their own bank now. If you hold your own Bitcoin in your own digital wallet, which I can show you if we had more time, I'd show you to download a digital wallet. We could download a digital wallet. When you hold your coins, your Bitcoin in your digital wallet, then you own it. If you keep your Bitcoin in an exchange, the exchange owns it. Well, guess what? Everybody's moving their Bitcoin out of the exchange. The big guys are holding on to, the crypto miners are holding on to their Bitcoin. So we're going to see a shift here. And I'm focusing on Bitcoin because it's the only one that has been adopted as legal tender by other countries, getting ready to be adopted by more countries. And that has already been classified as money in the US. Now,
Mem's book is saying property. Is it classified as property or money?
Let's see. The question is property, not money.
The US is Bitcoin classified as legal property or as legal currency?
It is a commodity.
Okay.
A commodity. So it's classified as money, but also commodity, kind of like gold was. Gold used to be classified as money, and now it's just a commodity. So it is a store of value for the future. Let's say that you buy one Bitcoin, or let's say that you buy, let's say $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy just a small amount. And if you can just budget yourself and say, okay, I'm going to put $100 a month, I'm going to move it out of dollars into Bitcoin and then save it up for the future, right? Now, the store of value for the future, some people are predicting that it's going to go up to about $1 million. Okay.
I've seen that in the news. I've seen that. What are your thoughts on that? Do you really believe it could go that high?
Absolutely. How many billion of people are there in the world? Do the math, okay? There's only 21 million Bitcoin. Now, here's why it's believable. I wish I had a whiteboard. Because it's fractional money, think about what's the smallest denomination we have right now in the dollar system? 0.01, 1 penny, right? 0.01.
Yeah.
Well, with fractionalized money, or let's say digital currencies, now you can go 0.00000001, right? So you can buy even less than a penny of Bitcoin. So when we have more place value that's moving to the right and not to the left, like the dollars, we have actually in the US, there's $30 trillion in debt right now, continually being printed.
Yeah.
So why do I think it's going to go up? Because of the limited supply and because it's fractionalized money, because we have so many decimal places that we also have, just like a penny to the dollar, we also have Satoshis to the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is already known as Satoshis. Okay. So those are our cents. So you could have
cents are Satoshis. Gotcha.
You could have 1 million Satoshi, 10 million Satoshis is one Bitcoin. Okay. So we won't be transacting in the future with Bitcoin. We'll be holding it as a store of value. Banks will be holding it as a store of value. And the Bitcoin miners are going to be the banks in the future. And so when you look at it that way, people will be transacting in Satoshis in the future. Okay. Or Satoshis. Yeah. That's
Wow. Okay. Because you're saying then that the value of one Bitcoin is going to be so much money that
yeah.
the average person is just going to be in these smaller units.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So
So I'm thinking because I love money. I love having it, love growing it, love seeing it. So when I hear you talking, in my mind, I'm saying, all right, so I need to kind of grab no. So what are your thoughts? No, because people are referring to the crypto winter. Things look bad.
Yeah.
Bitcoin dropping, and a lot of people are panicking about the future of Bitcoin. What do you think?
Well, let me just tell you my investment strategy. So I was lucky enough to buy a Bitcoin when it was $650. Okay. But I also bought a Bitcoin when it was $47,000. And so I'm letting you guys know that right now it's about what, 19,000. This is
below 20,000 US.
So we're in 2017 prices. The reason why it's low is because limited supply. The banks are buying, the people that are in the know are buying it up. Okay. So you guys want to make sure you want to be wealthy, you buy it up. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a cryptocurrency digital asset educator. And listen, when you know that Marathon, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, JP Morgan, all those guys are buying the Bitcoin up right now, they're purposely holding it, the prices low, so that when everybody finally decides, oh, if they're doing it, then I could buy it, then you have to buy it at 50,000 again.
Oh, I see.
You're going to buy it from them because
the Schweppes. I see what's going on.
You see, the government has already classified it and given banks permission to custody it for people. And Fidelity Investments already has a digital asset division. If you look on LinkedIn, they're hiring jobs like crazy. So is Morgan Stanley. All these guys are hiring, trying to find people who understand this technology so that they can offer it to their clients. So just know that, this is, you're getting inside scoop knowledge here with Keisha.
Listen. I'm like, let me make a note here of what to do after.
Buy. Yeah. Now, some people say maybe it might go down to 15,000, but I'm telling you right now, it's buy, definitely buy.
So where exactly can we see these transactions to verify that, look at it, the banks are buying up all the Bitcoin when the regular investor is panicking? Where can we see these types of transactions?
Okay, so you can see the larger transactions. Since it's a transparent digital ledger, you can see all of the purchases of Bitcoin on blockchain.com, and you can see a digital ledger there. I'm not prepared to bring that up, but I would show you.
Now, we can just put it in the chat. You said blockchain.com?
Blockchain.com, yes.
Yeah.
So you would be able to see every single Bitcoin transaction. Now, I want to just go back to what Keisha said about scammers. It's very important that you know who you're buying from and what is a credible company. And we have seen people, I do contract work with a company that does crypto tracking and tracing. Okay, that's what they do, crypto investigations to try to catch the bad guy, right? But we've seen people get scammed out of 500,000, 700,000, $1.5 million because they trusted the person that they sent their dollars to, or they sent their Bitcoin address to somebody. And the person on the other side, well, you want to look out for WhatsApp. You want to look out for Telegram. You don't want to go sending anybody you don't know money. Okay. You
right. Yeah. No. Word to the wise. Yeah. We go through organized exchanges. We go through verifiable sources. You guys inside the classroom know that, right? We're not novices. We're educating ourselves and doing
that's right. Correctly. And so there's even some scams with some well-known companies, MetaMask and Coinbase right now. So there's some things going on that's really important to really know what you're doing. And, as an educator, and wanting to see people succeed, I really would be more than happy to meet with anybody to go over that. I would help you set up your very first account. I would go over a vision budgeting with you on deciding what you're going to put into cryptocurrency. But again, I'm going to just go back and say, and Bitcoin is going to be, well, it is already worldwide, especially with the countries starting to adopt it.
Yeah. So we have some more questions for you.
Good.
All right. So Ayana Brown has a question. Where do I buy Bitcoin? She lives in Jamaica, so she's asking, where do I buy Bitcoin from Jamaica?
Okay.
That's awful. You can also tell her about your assistance. You're willing to help her.
Yes. So this is what I would do is I can name a couple of exchanges, but I don't know if they're available in Jamaica. Now, there are some exchanges that are out there that are fake. And so if you do a Google search, you'll find some fake exchanges out there that take people's money. It's kind of like a bottomless pit, and then you lose it. So never invest it more than what you're willing to lose. But you absolutely could visit with me. I would give you some time, a consultation. We would look together and see what is a credible source and what not to fall for. Let's just say that.
Yeah. The one I know mostly people use are like Coinbase. What are your thoughts on that? Is that
so Coinbase is the number one. It is the number one exchange. Now, if you can access Coinbase in Jamaica, but there are some scams and there's some apps. So I recommend you use your desktop instead of your phone, because that's when you get into some of the extras that Coinbase is offering. There's nobody monitoring those extras. People are putting their own apps on Coinbase. And so you don't want to go play around with those apps. Those are not Coinbases. They're third-party apps. So those prices quoted for Bitcoin are in USD. Yes. So right now, USD, it's about I think it's 19,000
something
right now.
Yeah, but it is fractionalized, Tanisha, so you can buy 0.00001.
Yes, $50 a paycheck, or $100 a month, whatever you can afford. You start now. I gave my son that advice, and it was in 2019. $100 a paycheck he put in, and he got to see his money grow. Now, today, right now, you put your money in, you might see some very short-term declines, but in the long term, you're going to see it go back up again.
What do we say long term? Like what are you thinking in terms of time?
So right now, because there's so much volatility in the economy and the governments are looking at adopting their own cryptocurrency, by the way, I wanted to tell you about that. If you're near the East Caribbean Bank, they're the first bank to release their own digital currency. So when you mentioned earlier, we don't need the banks anymore with this technology. Well, the banks are adopting this technology, and they're introducing what they call digital.
So that's in Jamaica. So there is Jamdex in Jamaica, digital currency from Jamaica as well.
Yeah. So I just typed in 6 types of digital currencies, and I don't know how much time we have, but one type of a digital currency is a CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency.
Right. So a lot of the viewers know that. We've talked about Jamdex, which is its own CBDC.
That's still centralized. That's still reliant on the bank, and Bitcoin is decentralized. So it is, I like to call it the people's money, right? The Bitcoin is still decentralized, and it is purposely being at a place a value that's low right now, so that retail investors can sell, and then the institutions can actually, here we go. Thank you. All right. So the first type we've talked about is Bitcoin, which has already been categorized as money and being used with countries. The second one is cryptocurrency, which is the 8,000 other cryptocurrencies that have not yet been categorized. And we are looking at the SEC deciding how they're going to treat those, and whether somebody's going to have to, whether they're going to be securities or not. The third one is NFTs. This is where anybody who has data that they want to store on the blockchain and you want to keep the origination of your data rather than putting it up in the cloud or up on Facebook. That's a centralized database. NFTs are decentralized, so you can keep your data. You will always be known as the originator of that data when you make an NFT.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the CBDCs I mentioned are the central bank digital currencies, which is really what all of us are waiting for. When you said, how long do we wait? Well, this is what's in talk right now with different countries and with the UN on how they're going to handle cryptocurrency versus CBDCs and how they're going to roll out the CBDCs. Because guess what? Once they do this, now they're going to make crypto centralized. And so a CBDC is a centralized cryptocurrency, which now the banks have access digitally to all your information. Okay. So we want to keep it decentralized. We want to keep our money to ourselves, right? We don't want people to see what we're spending our money on. So you want, maybe you do, I don't know, but then comes taxation on everything,
right? Which is the main thing, the taxation that people try to minimize. Yeah.
So then fifth, there's something called stable coins. Now, stable coins are pegged to the dollar. So you might see some coins like Tezos or Kyber, or actually Kyber's doing pretty good. But there's a lot of, if you look at some of the coins that are actually USDC, USDT, those are Tether, those are all tied to the dollar. So they're going to offer more stability if you move dollars into crypto. And then the last one is security tokens. And this is what artists, property owners in real estate, I do some consulting with real estate tokenization as well. They're looking at tokenizing their properties with this technology. So then that acts more like a security. So nice. I teach a class that goes about 2 hours into this. So I just kind of...
Yeah, so for all the enthusiasts out there, Lori is going to be making herself available to educate you more around cryptocurrencies. As I always say, education is there. Knowledge is nothing without implementation. So when we bring on guest experts, or experts are always willing to share their knowledge with you so that you can learn, and more importantly, so that you can implement. So Lori, we're short on time a little bit. Can you share how can persons find you? Let's talk about that, because a lot of people, I'm sure, are jumping to say, look here, I need to get in on this thing. Lori's talking about it. I want to know. I want Lori to help me because this leave me. I have to know. So how can
all right. So what I'd like to do is, first of all, give you my YouTube channel, which is Innovative Economy. And you can find me there. I have over 100 videos of free education. And so I go into maybe some of the things maybe you've heard. I pretty much even have a video called Bitcoin for Moms. So why to buy Bitcoin, more about the financial technology and more about what the government's doing with CBDCs. So Innovative Economy is my YouTube channel. And then also I'm offering all your listeners a session, and you can have my link to book me. And that is, I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, it's gonna pop up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
we can put it in the chat as well for persons.
Yeah. And any questions you have, if you want to set up an account, we can download a wallet together. So just go ahead and book through my calendar online. And then this is what I do. So they have, it's called this, when you help somebody buy their very first Bitcoin. And remember, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy 0.00183, $5. You can buy $5 of Bitcoin. Just get it in your digital wallet. So we'll download a digital wallet and we'll give you your first Bitcoin transaction. And then I'll show you how to use your wallet and how to protect your wallet. And once you do that, you will be considered orange pilled. Do you know what orange pilled is?
No.
Well, you've heard of Bitcoin is non-political money. That's what its premise is. When you've bought your first Bitcoin, or you understand that it's got future value, then you've been orange pilled, not red pilled, not blue pilled, but orange pill.
Orange pill. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay. So guys, you have Lori's contact information. Reach out to her. She is here providing her services to help you get set up with getting cryptocurrency exposure. Talk with her. She will educate you in way more detail than I could ever go into on cryptocurrencies, NFTs, CBDCs, the whole shebang. So if you need to know, you jump in, speak with Lori. She's happy to assist you.
Excellent. I want to share one more thing. And next week, we're starting a crypto scam series. So I really want, if you could go to my channel and subscribe, you'll get the crypto scam series.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing the next 10 weeks of crypto scams. Yeah.
That will help persons to know what to look out for. So
that's right. That's right.
That's good. All right. Thank you, Lori, for being on today inside the Money Classroom, sharing your expertise around.
Thank you, Keisha.
It was great having you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right. So, guys, you have it. Alternative assets, cryptocurrency is the thing. It is the future. Get connected. Get your exposure. Lori has graciously made herself available to everyone here, everyone inside the Profit Jumpstart community, so they can learn. Take up the information, go and book the call, and make sure that you get your account set up. You have an expert guiding you. You're less likely to go click on the wrong button. You're less likely to be involved in any scam or anything because she knows her thing, right? So don't try it on your own. If you have expertise available to you, take advantage of that. All right. So I will see you inside the Money Classroom again in 2 weeks. This has been an amazing discussion on cryptocurrencies. You guys have been very active and very engaged as usual. Thank you all for being here. Remember, knowledge is nothing without implementation. Execute. I will see you in 2 weeks back inside the Money Classroom. Bye.